everyone, I'm Kevin, and I would like to introduce you to a community module today where I had the pleasure to work with it as well a little bit. The community module is written by Stefan van Gulik, who is sadly not here. He's also a known PSConf alumni who presented many times and does stuff like that. The module that we're talking about is it's called PSHTML. And it's basically, so to sum it up in one sentence, it's basically a DSL to write HTML within PowerShell. This is the GitHub repo. It's very well documented as well. It's also available on PowerShell Gallery. So if you want to download it, feel free. With that, let's get to the code here. So I prepared just a small sample file. I imagine everybody in here has seen HTML code. It's nothing. It's no big deal, right? It's really easy to write as well. This is what it looks, and the goal of the module basically is to write stuff like this, but within PowerShell syntax. So how can we do that? If we import the module here, just doing that on the go, we get a list of functions with this module. So let me quickly show you that. We get a lot of functions actually, and you will notice some of them are like more standard named after PowerShell commandlets, and some of them are really short function names which are basically named after the tags you use in HTML. So what PSHTML allows us to do in PowerShell, we can run stuff like this and get the HTML code output in our console. So this paragraph is basically what we would see in an HTML document right here, right? Very simple. Now, a paragraph on itself is not really that interesting. PSHTML offers us actually like the opportunity to create whole HTML structures. So we open up with an HTML tag, we encapsulate a header, a body part, a footer, and we can put stuff in there as we like with those functions that you've seen before, right? So if I run this, I will get a bit more HTML content in my console down there. And you will see it's a one-liner basically of HTML, but this is what represents what's up here basically, right? And so this is cool. We can write HTML in PowerShell. We all love PowerShell, right? But the actual value you get out of doing this is you can incorporate PowerShell logic into your HTML structure, let's say. So up here you will see I set my action preference to stop. I defined an array with 5 numbers in it. And in my HTML, in my body part, you will see I have a for each loop. In that for each loop, I just do some PowerShell stuff, very basic, also stupid example code, right? But this actually allows me to generate HTML out of stuff that I get from PowerShell, right? So if I run this now, let me see. If I run this now, you will see, according to the logic we have in this code, so if the number that we loop through is less than 3, it should throw the number is too low, and if it does not throw, we print out the number and it's high enough, right? And so according to less than 3, the first 2 numbers here should be too low, of course, and then we get, as of number 3, we get numbers high enough. And this is actually what enables cool stuff within this module, right? Like this, it's a silly example, but that's basically the point. Exactly, and I wanted to just quickly show you, so this is nothing special, right? The example HTML thing is here. I mean, this is what the output looks like. It's kind of ugly, it's just code in a browser. Yeah, we get on design stuff later on. Also quickly want to shine a light on the documentations, which is very well done, in my opinion. You have a lot of like introductory stuff on the left side here. You have different components that you can use within PSHTML that are basically done for you to make it easier to use. And then, of course, down here, all the tags are documented as well. And so I want to shine the lights as well on 2 parts, which are the tables and the charts features. And so to open up this is, I just want to show you like how a table looks. I guess you know that as well, right? In HTML, you open a table tag, you define your table head with your headers, and then you fill in your rows with those table row tags. So you could potentially go in PSHTML and define a table if you want. You would define a t-head, or however the tag is called, and then in here you would fill in your rows, right? That's something you could do. You could also automate that with PowerShell in there, as I've shown before. But actually, there is a commandlet for this that helps you with that. So in the table example here, what we do at the start is I get the processes on my Mac. If I run this, the object that I get back looks something like this. What's it called? Proc. We get just standard PowerShell object with some information in there. We've added a little bit of styling here. Just going to run it, and then let's look at the code. So what we see here is I created an object, and then afterwards in here there's a commandlet called convert to PSHTML table. And then you can pass an object into that commandlet, and it will take the name of the properties that you have in those objects as the headers, and create a table with the data down below, right? And you basically just add the properties there, and what we get, if we look at this, at the end would be something like this, which is kind of cool, right? It's a really easy way to display something in HTML. Then the next example are charts. So Stefan actually invested a lot of time in this. You can, just as easy as you can do tables, you can also add charts in your HTML documents with this module. You could, for example, so let me quickly run it, and then we look at the code again. Let's run it from here. All right, let's open it up, and let's look at one of those. So there are multiple charts in this file, but let's look at one of them. So what you would do is in your HTML block, you would add a container maybe, or whatever you want. You would add a container, and then in there you add a canvas. You define its size. You point it to an ID, which we defined up here for all our charts. And then you will pass a data set, which in here is dummy data. Again, it's just numbers and colors and stuff like that, right? And then you could use this commandlet to create a chart out of that data set. So if we go and look how this looks, that would be that was the wrong one. Pie chart. There we go. So we have 4 sample graphs here that are. This is not real data, right? But this is, you could fill this with PowerShell however you want, right? Cool. And so one use case that we actually use in our company as well is we generate reports from pest results. This is obviously not code for my company. I couldn't show that, but I just threw this together yesterday in a hurry in the evening. So it doesn't look amazing, but what we can do basically is up here I run pester with the pass-through parameter, of course, and then down here I create a chart based on results we have of those pester tests, and I also create a table showing which tests have passed, which tests have failed, and why did they fail, right? So if you run that whole code block here, it's actually also, well, we can just run it, I guess. It will start up my pester tests here, so I built in errors that we get like a colorful graph, like the module that's getting tested actually works, so. Yeah. This should only take a few more seconds. Cool, so we're done. We have 462 completed checks and 17 failed ones. And if we look at that, we can see a very simple report, right? This is a pest report for another module that I've written. We have 462 checks passed, and 17 of them are failed. And then down here you get like a summary of each test. Hey, this one passed, no error message. Oh, this one did not pass. This was the error. And just before this talk, I had a conversation between Walter, and he basically told me, hey, I have a way nicer example, and I would like to show it to you, just to make you aware of what you can do with this module. So this is, I'm not going to go into the code of it. It's just a demo. So this is something that Dino did with, this is all HTML generated by PowerShell, and it looks kind of nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it.